European countries and the United States as well are trying to find ways to be as supportive of Ukraine as possible. And some of that is military hardware and others. But there are other long-term things that can be helpful, not just now, but in the big picture as long as it goes on. And obviously the economy has more impact on that than anything. So recommending that they come into the EU, give them the candidate status, I think makes a strong statement without making too much of a commitment at this point. So I think they're on the right track. I think it's a good thing. Certainly would be a good thing for the EU, but a great thing for Ukraine.
And what do you expect Russia's reaction to be?
I think no matter what you do, if there is anything pro-Russia, pro-Ukraine right now, Russia will frown on that. But I'm not sure that there's anything other than some table pounding that they can do or realistically can have in way of reaction.
Let's talk about NATO's expansion. You're here in Turkey. A very important subject for the country right now is Finland and Sweden's membership bid to NATO. Should the US be backing NATO's expansion?
I would say yes, however, with this caveat. One of the things that President Trump, for all his bluster and all his lack of diplomacy in speaking, did insist that other countries play a larger role. The United States, financially speaking, was playing an outsized role in NATO and just making sure that other countries actually ponied up and participated. So I think the only concern from the United States standpoint is the United States somehow taking on a greater financial risk here as you add on? Obviously, there's military concerns, there's everything else that goes with it. But in general, I think those two you mentioned in particular are good additions.
What about US aid to Ukraine? How much longer can the US keep giving to Ukraine, given the domestic economic pressures right now?
It's an interesting mix because I think we're getting a mixed message from the administration, from the Biden administration. Initially, his very first reaction, President Biden's very first reaction when Ukraine was invaded, was to offer safe harbor for Zelensky. And I thought, gosh, that's waving a white flag immediately. That's insisting, okay, you're going to lose, you're going to surrender, we'll help you. That tune has changed dramatically over the last 4 months. And there's aid, there's things, the United States Senate just 2 weeks ago passed a $40 billion package. I think politically the pressure is difficult because Americans are suffering right now with high gas, high food, other things. So when they see $40 billion is a lot of money, when they see that going to another part of the world, while they feel concern for those folks, they're thinking, wait a minute, what are we doing at home? And so that's a balancing act.